Well, today's Wednesday, so today's like my standalone building, route setting improvement. I don't know. It's a lot of titles, but basically what I do is I plan out a bunch of standalones that I want to make, and then come in during the day and can basically like throw up a problem in 5 minutes, and then spend an hour or so kind of testing and tweaking it, and then take it down and repeat. A lot of it kind of had to do with that. The idea was like, all right, like how do I really get better at setting standalones? And the idea is you just have to do it a lot. I did that for 2 months maybe, and then had the idea to start actually writing things down because it was kind of silly to keep everything in my mind at once. And that has become this book. It doesn't have a name yet, actually.
Should have a name.
It should have a name. By SM it will have a name.
Yeah, about that. You're gonna sit for SM?
Yep.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that?
Really excited, but also kind of nervous. I think that was the biggest reason why I started writing everything down. I felt confident in my abilities when I was actually setting at work, and I was like, yeah, like this is gonna go well. Then I would go home and I would start worrying, and you're like, am I gonna do well? Like, am I gonna mess up? You can set things too easy, you can set things too hard. You make problems that favor one kind of climber way too much. I think the biggest thing I was worried about was just having a creative block. Because some days you come in and you pick out your holds and you see the wall in 5 seconds, you're like, yes. And sometimes you walk in and you look at the holds and you look at the wall and 2 hours later you're still sitting there. Ta den här. That's what I'm gonna do today. I think the biggest feeling that I want to get for it is that the feet are pretty unsteady. So it's going to require a lot of body tension to keep on, and then hopefully something a little bit dynamic, and probably shooting for, say, like male too, for qualies.
So what's the difficulty of such a problem?
I would probably shoot between 7A and 7C, maybe 7A plus to 7B for the quality. And in this, I'd much rather it's like very beta dependent. So if you do it, it's like, oh, this feels like 6C plus. Versus if you do it wrong, you're like, okay, this could feel like 7C plus 8A. I think the start I'm not quite sure on. So especially for this, like either I'll have the entire boulder kind of fleshed out and ready to go, or I might just have a couple moves that I'm really into. So for this one, I have from the middle to the finish. Might be too good.
All right, so we have a start here.
We do have a start. The idea is kind of do a weird compact mantle. So that's usually how most of my first tries look. It should work, kind of. The idea here is I have 2 different ideas that I'm trying to kind of squish together. The upper hold is like that's the segue into the rest of the problem, which I think is gonna be perfect. And now it's just the start. I'm really not sure what the feeling is gonna be. Initially the feeling was gonna be very much going to the right. And now I'm thinking, all right, it's probably gonna feel better just going straight up and then kind of doing a traverse. So I'm gonna play around with that. I'm thinking the feeling that would be cool from this is if you actually need to stand up all the way and then just get it with one hand and then kind of balance and hold the body tension. Pretty cool. When
you're setting such a thing, do you consider like different body types?
Height is the biggest one. Body type as far as muscle composition has more to do with if I'm considering for males or females.
Right.
This might not be good enough. So I moved the right hand that you're going to be going to pretty much straight up diagonal to the left. I want to make it more dynamic. So I think by moving it up and to the left, like it actually opens up a lot more options and paths from this, as well as makes the first move feel a lot nicer. I think one option is I could try and aim the left foot here. So when I catch it, I just clamp together with the feet and hold the swing. Another thing I do is when I catch the right hand, match the feet and then throw out the right foot and flag it here, and that'll also kill the momentum. Or I could do a similar box setup out to the right. So when you get that, you have to really quickly match and then throw into the right one. And that would almost fit the best, because then it would set it up perfectly for the finish moves. I think I'll start with that. So I haven't messed up, but the dimensions for this put me a lot closer to this edge. So the idea is I'm going to swing over a right heel. and then you rock over and you gain access to the finish section. But I'm really far away from that one right now. Either I just move the sequence to the left, or I put like a filler move before, but I think I can try and stretch it out, and it should work. The idea is that you kind of have to stretch yourself out to the full extent, and then kind of bump around in these like really outstretched positions from a heel that's, it's okay. I think there's still a fair bit of squeaking I need to do, especially near the finish, and just kind of get the distances right, but I feel pretty good about it. I like it. But I think I'm gonna try the match beta, and 1, 2, and then out. So ideally when I test this out, I would like to get it in 3 to 4 tries, especially for a first move. Ooh! I was kind of afraid that was happening. I was looking at that span and I'm like, maybe. So it's definitely a little bit too short. So initially I would have liked for it to be a bump sequence. So you go right hand, right hand, right hand, finish. But probably move the that first triangle in, and then do right hand match into the finish. I could put a foothold here and try and create like a pincer movement between. So you could do heel heel and try and sink in and match. Why I chose these boxes. I really like the way that you have to grab them. And there's an interesting way, like you really have to learn to hang your weight off of them in the correct set so they feel good. And as soon as you add on chips, it kind of takes away that entire feeling. So if possible, I would like to do as many changes with the feet to make it work before impacting. The boxes are too close together, so it's like as soon as I tried to drop in, I feel like I would lock in the hip and then just... We're getting closer and closer. It's just this final hold. Oh, okay. Adjust it and move it up a little bit, and then completely change the finish sequence. Those two, and then bump through. Nice. That was desperate. Nice.
Nice work, man.
Thank you. I was really close to dropping that first move.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, oh, super happy.
Yeah.
I would have liked the boxes in the finish to look a little bit more like geometric and nice and intentional, but as far as the movement goes, really satisfied with it. This is probably right around 7B plus. So a little bit harder than I initially expected, but I think that has a lot to do with the match on the boxes overall. Super satisfied.